Hey, this is Dr. Kaan of the ACL Academy, and today we're dropping a new video, and we are going to go over the deadlift, specifically using the Hex Bar with a lot of our clients as they relearn to do this compound, more functional type lift. I do incorporate this exercise with our ACL recovery clients as they enter into the gym, and it's one of my favorite exercises working on posterior strength, so particularly glutes, hamstrings, even a little calf. What I want to do is go over not only a couple components of doing the exercise appropriately, but also for those of you that maybe have never done this type of lift before, you can get some tips and tricks on how to incorporate and utilize it, not only the right way, but more efficiently and effectively to gain strength as you're going through your recovery process. Before I go further into this video, guys, if you've been following along and you found some value here, please subscribe to our channel. We drop a new video every single Monday. And if you have questions, comments, always drop them below. We get to basically every single one. And more importantly, share with a fellow ACLer that could benefit from these tips and education that we put out weekly. So a big part of this ACL process is getting strong, right? And I talk about the quads a lot because the quads, I believe, are the key muscle in this ACL recovery. But we also want to look at other muscle groups here. So in addition to a lot of quad work, we do a lot of glute hamstring work as they are essential, important muscles for our knee health and knee recovery, especially as we're going through ACL recovery process. One of the big lifts, more functional compound lifts that I like to utilize is the deadlift. And when we're incorporating a deadlift, I do like to start people on the hex bar, even if you're comfortable with a barbell. But for some of us who are maybe never done a deadlift before or never done a type of barbell type deadlift, the hex bar is a great way to start. So I'm going to go over a couple things here that we incorporate, we talk to our clients about. So this way you get the idea of utilizing it appropriately and you can incorporate it into your own recovery. So this is a basic hex bar that we use, and you would have to put a couple weights on it because if you don't, the bar is going to be too low to grab and the range of motion is going to be too great. So I do have two bumpers here. When you are stepping into the bar, you want to make sure that the bar is not up like this. So just as for safety, you want to kind of bring the bar in. So as you step in, it's less chance to trip over it. Once you step into the bar, we want to make sure our feet are about shoulder width apart. And we're going to grab the center of the bar here. And there are two ways to do this type of movement. One is more of a squat biased movement, and the other is more of a deadlift. Here, once we grab the bar, a squat biased movement would be butt down, a deadlift movement would be more butt back. Because we're working on our posterior muscles, right, our glutes and our hamstrings, we're going to encourage butt back versus butt down, okay? And a couple things. Once we grab the bar, we want to lock down our shoulders. So we want to bring our shoulders down and back, okay? And as we're pushing up, we're not pulling up from our arms. We're going to drive the ground down to get back up. So grab the bar in the middle of it. I lock down my shoulders. In order to get up, I'm going to think to push the floor down, and then I'm going to drive my hips forward. As I'm coming down or bringing the bar back, I'm not going to go straight down, right? We're not looking to get my butt down. We're going to think about or picture a wall being about a foot behind us, about 12 inches behind us. And basically, we want our butt to touch that wall. So in order to start the movement, we're going to do what we call a hip hinge. My butt's going to go back. So I push my butt back, bend my knees slightly, and the bar touches the ground. Okay? Now, in order to get back up, same thing. I want to make sure I lock my shoulders down, and I'm pushing the ground down and driving my hips forward. So I get a good glute squeeze at the top. Now to bring the bar back, again, a hip hinge, butt goes back about 12 inches. So we're going to push our butt back, knees bend slightly, bar touches the ground. In order to come up, push the feet into the ground, drive the hips forward. Okay, if we're doing it right, we're going to feel a nice stretch in our hamstrings as I'm bringing the bar down. And then we're going to feel hamstrings, glutes, maybe even a little low back work, as well as some calf work. As you get comfortable with this, obviously you can begin to load up the weight, and then eventually you could switch over to a barbell. But we do like the Hex bar to start. And as far as the sets and repetitions go, it really depends on what you're working towards. If we're building strength or we're looking to put on strength, I may use a lift like this with lower reps. So anywhere from 5 reps to 8 reps. We may do sets of 3 to 5 even. And basically when you're picking a weight for this, we want to make sure form is looking good for all the reps. But we also want to make sure that by the time we're done with that rep scheme, let's say if it's sets of 5 or 6, we're pretty fatigued, the form looks good, and maybe we could do 1 or 2 more possibly, right? That'll ensure that we are picking an appropriate weight, but also that we're enough weight where we're getting the workload that we want. So again, use this lift a lot as far as a compound functional movement. In addition to that, we also use isolated work. So that's our hamstring curls for hamstrings and knee extension for quads. But love this lift. Give it a try. If you have questions, comments, drop them below. This is Dr. Kaan. We drop a new video every Monday. And if you guys found some value here, please subscribe to our channel. More importantly, share with a fellow ACL they can benefit from these tips and education. I will see you guys next week.